Howdy, Philly, and welcome. Today we are in John chapter 4, taking a look at verse 10, and that's as far all that we're going to be doing today. Thank you very much for joining me, and yes, we are back here, as my summer has come to an end. If you were paying attention at all last week, and if you, perchance, per the unlikely chance, looked in the discussions part of the page, you saw the announcement. I couldn't figure out how to put an announcement, a text announcement. The video last week was like, whatever. So here is our text, everything that we're looking for as we go through. Let's get started. Apekrithe Jesus kai epen aute eideis tein dorean tu theu kai tis estin hologon soi dos moi pen su on etesas auton kai adoken on soi hudor zon. And that's as far as we're going to make it. Very first word we have seen many times before. Apekrithe, that's just our easy third person singular aorist deponent. I'm not going to parse that since we've done it. Actually, I don't remember the last time we did that. Maybe I should. So the theta there just tells us that this is from the passive aorist tense, but this is a deponent verb, so active in meaning. Third singular aorist deponent indicative. Now we can go a couple months without parsing it again. Jesus, seen that before. This is our subject, nominative singular. Kai. Kai is going to be connecting apokrithe with a pen, epsilon nu, third singular aorist as well. This one is active in form and indicative. Or is apokrithe a participle? It's an indicative. Jesus answered. I don't know what that he was doing. And said, aute, sub iota right there, so we know this is dative, singular, and feminine. To her being the Samaritan woman. And that actually reminds me. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. I'm going to get your name wrong. But last week, Chris Matthews, I think. I'll put a note giving credit. But one of you was kind enough to put the proper spelling of Samaritan up for me. Thank you very much. I'm probably going to get it wrong again. Okay, so there's that. I really appreciate it when any of you do that. My English spelling is suffering greatly. There was a time when I was terrible at English and pretty good in Greek and Latin. And then there's now, and my English isn't that great, and I misspell other things. But whatever, I appreciate the help. I don't want you to stop. If I see a mistake, please point it out. So, Jesus answered and said to her, quote also in the Greek, ei, here we have unaspirated, no accent mark right there. So then that tells us that this is our particle if, eideis, and then this is, that looks like a very strange word because we get the eta sub iota, unaspirated. And we actually have here is a form of, I think this is oida, but oida is the perfect informed present and meaning verb. This one with the eta right there and the epsilon iota sigma right there, I'm pointing off at nowhere, is actually the pluperfect form of whatever verb this is. And again, I think oida. So epsilon iota sigma, that is a kind of normal looking second person singular. The eta right there tells us that this is a pluperfect and it is active. And is it indicative? Well, if it were subjunctive, then I would actually expect probably another eta in here. If it were octative, I would expect an omicron, definitely with an iota. But we don't have the omicron, we don't have the eta. I'm pretty sure that this is just an indicative. If I have the time, and I don't know if I will before Monday, before I upload this, I'll confirm that. But for now, I believe this is indicative. And a will often go with an indicative. If we had a subjunctive, we might expect a on, or one of the others. That flown out of my brain. So, looking ahead, no specific word for her. So, if you had known, had seen, and now know, tein dorean, eta nu right there, from hohe to is our article, and that just tells us that this is feminine and accusative, dorean, which is confirmed with that alpha right there. So, accusative, singular, the C is unnecessary, feminine. These two go together. Had known the gift to Theo. We've seen those both before very often. This is just a genitive of the particular God, Kai, and connecting our next clause right there. Tis from tis ti. This one is the nominative singular, masculine or feminine. Looking ahead, ho is masculine, legon is masculine, so those two are both nominative, therefore tis is also going to be, masculine, therefore tis is also going to be masculine. And who, estin, with our movable nu right there, third singular present tense, active and indicative. If this article were not here, then the nu would drop out because it's unnecessary. One of the things to keep in mind. Who it is, ho legon, article with a participle right there, omega nu, is of course our nominative singular masculine of the present stem, leg, active and participle. Who it is, the one saying. Soy from soy say, I think. Always a word that I get that wrong. This is dative, singular, no gender. To you is the indirect object. Subquote. Dos moi pain. Dos is from didomi. Doso. So our Omicron sigma here is a imperative, but it's a particular imperative of didomi. Well, there will be a couple others which may have that. It's unusual. And I don't remember if it's only the me verbs that do Omicron sigma. Oh well. So this is again a second person singular, and I think we saw this form a couple weeks back. Second singular, present, active, imperative. And so this might indicate give to me and keep giving to me, as the present imperative will often do, versus the aorist imperative, which says just do this and do it once. So give moi, it's the first person version of that, so another dative singular. Give to me pain, with our epsilon iota right there, and circumflex, if you remember, we talked about previously what the contraction was to get to this. It's actually pe-en is the infinitive, pe-en, maybe. Oh, how am I forgetting this? Maybe there's a new one there. Well, if you go and you watch one of the older ones, please do that. You'll be reminded of what the forms are, and maybe during our review. We'll see. But anyway, this is a present active infinitive. I'm 90% sure. Give to me to drink, comma, end, subquote. Su on eistasas, alpha sigma right there, tells us second person singular. Eta sub iota on the front tells us that we've got an augmenting vowel on there, so therefore we have a past tense, and this comes from aiteo. Aiteo, so the eta right there comes from the epsilon, sigma separating the personal endings from the stem. We have aorist tense. Second singular, aorist, active, indicative. If you had known the gift, I'm going to say would. This is going to be a contrary to fact conditional. Would have asked, would ask, would demand. Auton, Omicron nu, accusative singular, no need to parse. Him, and, new clause. Edoken, augmenting vowel right there, no reduplication from didomi. kappa right there, epsilon nu right there, tells us that this is a third, and let's see, I'm now second guessing myself, dido mi doso edoka dedoka. Perfect would have reduplication, so yes, this is aorist tense, third singular, aorist again, active and indicative, and he, and we might include this with the on right there, so I'm going to do would again to match that. Oh yeah, we've got an on right there as well, untranslated particle. He would give soy, dative, singular again, to you. Hudor zoin. Hudor hudatos is a neuter noun. Can't be the subject, because there needs to be an object for this to give, and zone is the wrong form of that. So, accusative, singular, neuter, give to you water. Zone, omega with a circumflex over that, that is going to be genitive plural. Is that correct? No, not going to be genitive plural. Genitive plural would probably look the same for having a hard time remembering here. Is this an adjective or is this a noun? Well, let's take a look at verse 11 where it appears again. All the way down here at the beginning. We've got a toe with it. That's neuter. And zone is completely unchanged. So what I think is actually going on here is that zone is an adjective, in which case it is the same form, probably. Again, something that I'll need to leave a note if I have time. And you water living. And that would actually make sense, because this would be from zoe, and zoe, no, not zoe, zao, the verb, the alpha and the omega contract, so we have a circumflex over them, but then the stem is just za, and the participle would be zaon, and again the alpha and the omega would contract. I should be writing this down for you. So we would have za on for the participle, and then these two contract together to give us, well, the form that we have right there. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. So, present, active, participle. Give to you water, living water. And there we have it after much wandering. Thank you very much for joining me. Let's take a look at it in its own context, and then from verse 1. Jesus answered and said to her, if you had known the gift of the God, the particular God, and who it is, the one saying to you, give to me to drink, you would ask him, and he would give to you water, living water. All right, and now from verse 1. I'm going to correct all the Samaritans with an A, not an E. Just as therefore the Jesus knew that the Pharisees heard that Jesus makes more disciples, and he baptizes more than John caused to be baptized, although Jesus himself was not baptizing, but his disciples, he sent away the Jews, and he left again into the Galilee. But it was necessary that he go through Samaria. Therefore Jesus comes into a city of Samaria called Sychar, near the field which Jacob gave to Joseph, the son of him. And there was there spring of Jacob. Therefore Jesus, having become tired from the journey, he began to sit thus on the spring. Hour was about 6. You know, I could probably cut off at 6 and just start each time at 7 from this point on. I might do that. A woman comes from the Samaria to draw water. And Jesus says to her, give to me to drink. No, I don't show the contraction there. For the disciples of him had gone into the city in order to buy victuals. She says therefore to him, the woman, the Samaritan. Yeah, I've got the red there. I did correct it. Good. Samaritan, one. How do you, being a Jew, ask from me to drink, although I am a Samaritan? Woman. For Jews do not have dealings with Samaritans. Got pain again, but I still don't write the contraction. All right. I'll add that on the final page. Jesus answered and said to her, if you had known the gift of the God, and who is the one saying to you, give to me to drink, you would ask him, and he would give to you living water. There you have it. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I hope that you have a good day. Farewell.
What? You're still awake? Why are you still here then? You should be reading a book. Or if not reading, you should watch one of these other videos. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. See you next week.